are going.
Heaven knows where we are going.
Why are you singing?
We know we will.
No, why are you singing?
It will be hard, we know that the road will be bad.
I need you to do Anthem for me. Who can sing the Real Madrid song? Hey, Pacho, please.
Madrid, Jesus, solo tomare, a la Madrid, a la Madrid, si subiu, ilamaba, ilandaba, a la Madrid.
Numbers for the swap. Madrid.
No, Charlie.
In Spanish.
Madrid, a la Madrid,
A la Madrid. No, but you see the second part there. Boy, unim to start in Aminchori. Start easy.
Lyrics now more to the American Wahalo.
Now, the other one,
Troy.
Spanish.
One Troy. Estava one as William.
The sources. Lyric find.
The
writers are Manuel Jabois and then Nader Kaya.
Manuel Jabois the no ballet.
when I say a cover, no,
Manuel Jabois be cover.
Boy, friend of Florentino.
Lazy, Imagina, Isa, Maramari, Isa, Alamari, no, I didn't take copyright. Mari,
Alamadri,
Inadamas and nothing more and nothing more.
Once you enter Madrid, there is nothing more.
Because
Inanaba, Isa, Alamari, Nuko, Koronebe, Zena, Laranabai, Isa, Koronebe, Isa, Laranari, Alamare, Iandamas, Alamare. And of course, we go once now. Almost see Manus. No, who's the last one to
Okay, so
Madrid.
Let's switch to the
Barcelona. What was on them? No, Mufudan.
Oh, Mufudan.
You are junior. And only I slow. Baby girl, woman, I slow. Me buano. Any man, you know. Le Barcelona and Tonka.
Welcome to today's episode of the Four Post Podcast. And as you heard, wow, what's in the year no father? So 1 years wa. just take up like that. But we are here to preview what is said to be an exciting weekend. It is El Clasico weekend, and definitely it will feature prominently as part of our discussions today. And then we'll talk about the other matches that will be taking place across the top 5 European leagues. It is the 4 Post Podcast. Subscribe to the channel, then hit the notification bell or the button, and then you are good to go. Anytime a content is uploaded, you always be kept abreast with it, and then you can follow suit. You also need to just engage with us. Just share your feedback. Whatever you like about what we do, if you don't like it too, just feel free and express your opinion. We always thrive with your feedback. We'll grow with it, and that is what we want to do. The name is Asare Boadu, and our famous Anthem singer, Club Bia Nyumonimto.
Oh yes.
Club Bia. Konokodie.
Asante Kotoko Yabasha. Asante Kotoko.
Yabasha. Asante Kotoko. Yabasha.
Wasunta dia
Sunta. Sunta.
Inimina chingana masunta.
Sunta.
Wana chingana masunta.
Sunta.
Akomea.
Body
Me pet.
Uni Kotoku house you know.
Ah.
Toku.
Toku.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, mine.
Yedeko. Yenenim. Debiara. Yebeshe. Amen.
Kotoku Royals. Kotoku Royals.
I think that we need to just have one day where we'll come here and then do the anthems of the clubs. But so he is Akomea Jemfi. Fiifi Manfred is here. Today he decided to do Jama.
And the broken heart man is
but
there.
It's purely a tactical. And then
broken heart man.
Boy, the girl where she make you do like this.
They just broken
heart come like that.
So that is Kiki Monte. Mofa camera and Tone so. Mofa Tone so Munzumi.
Some bena boss. You don't bena chair so they told so slow.
Okay, so Aden. Why? What is happening?
You've been slow for almost 1 hour.
So what's the background story? We know that
and the calls are coming.
You are not in your mood and phones are calling. Honestly, phones have been calling you. So what is happening?
Mamen kanyamahu. Neniamati. Itrawo.
What the
Jesus yankwa.
Hey.
Oh mankwa.
Broken heart mad on woman yamio.
Da. Betiano mera huama wana was say.
Hey.
Ade. I shall come wa.
I shock you na.
So I don't know, but how fresh is your memory and how sharp is it? What is the best El Clasico you've watched in the last 10 years? Or should I expand the time frame?
Akomea Jemfi.
That's 10 years.
The best El Clasico
You've watched in the last 10 years. Me expanding
How can you check because me no last.
Okay, your best El Clasico of all time. Since you started watching that game.
They say Mourinho Pep Guardiola era.
One of them
Okay.
so which Champions League semi-final.
Should I vow now?
Yeah, they both flex. Anyway, they're competing. The Messi question last week Santiago Bernabeu.
Okay.
Jordi Alba.
Oh, you in shirt.
I think the Champions League and that one is competing. But remember Santiago Bernabeu did because it's such an iconic moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the bar is not the game near 1-1, maybe 2-1, 2-2.
Yeah.
Then 2-2 no end-to-end stuff. Kaya Santiago Messi strong. No, I pick your shirt to the UFC.
Cash.
And it's an iconic celebration.
Akao.
And only Leonas Andres Cudicini Messi.
Yes, Akao. Akao.
So that will pass for you.
Yes.
Oh, you guys settle on that.
Now me, I will go for the Copa del Rey final.
Bale.
During
Di Maria cross here now last minute Ronaldo.
Yeah.
yeah, commentator and sound man Ronaldo born to.
Ghana there.
I'm Spanish we pegara.
Remotosa, Di Maria Runtos, Ronaldo Rico, Rintoroso.
I have commentators here as well. So that's an interesting one. Spanish. So the finest Spanish commentator is also in the studio.
Open Portuguese and Mama, Open Italiano and Mama.
Arabic crowd,
I'll be king now.
I'm Italian back on here.
Open match, boy. And one.
Juventus, ne. Real Madrid now, Ronaldo boss Caesar kick share.
Champions
I want the Allianz Stadium.
Okay. Jojo Trinitorio no simrin torin tosinto. Passerin torin skintiristo tuya cambiaso. Cambiaso branco sinito. Cross the ball Cristiano Ronaldo fanculo. Fanculo abem in Italia.
Fanculo nye ubro dia.
Italia. All right. So we've had some very great memories regarding the El Clasico. And when you were reminiscing, what came to mind had to do with this? It looks like the quality then, the playing body, what they offered on both sides. It looks like there is a quality drop if you look at the players who are playing now.
Yeah.
Has El Clasico lost its standard in terms of the quality?
Mike, I think it's one particular rivalry that would never lose touch, no matter who is wearing the jersey on the field of play.
Okay.
No matter the quality that is not available, I think this is a rivalry that transcends beyond individual players. It's the soul of these two clubs. It's the enmity of these particular two clubs. The grudge between these two clubs. Spain versus the Catalonians. It's something that moves beyond the ordinary.
Okay.
I've never seen a rivalry match like this in my entire life. I've watched a lot of derbies. I've watched a lot of rivalry games. But this transcends every single thing. One particular game, earlier on, you feel like there's no hype around this game. Yeah. But just 24 hours before the game, or even 10 hours or 12 hours before the game, that is when you really feel the intensity of that particular encounter. This is one particular game that can sack any coach in this world.
Okay.
This is one particular match that can make and unmake any coach in this world. This is one particular game that can unmake and make any top player in this world. It can create, it can manufacture, it can validate,
invalidate,
and it can invalidate any single person on the field of play. This is the greatest game of all time. This is the greatest rivalry game that I've ever seen. It is intense, anger here and there, full of emotions, full of quality. Even on the D-Day, the worst players can even turn around to become the best players of the day.
Okay.
For example, we watched the Copa del Rey semi-final or final between Real Madrid and Barcelona. You look at Eric Garcia at some point in time. You look at their left back, Gerardo Martin. At some point in time. Say, hey, now they Roberto Carlos be bahana. Then you look at players like Chouameni who had bad season, some bad moments during last season, turns up within that particular game and starts playing so well. Mike, I love the El Clasico. It is the best of the best. Top game. We've watched Ronaldinho in it. We've seen Cristiano Ronaldo in it. You see, Arabian top players are who.
Okay.
Anya biadi who bako El Clasico. Young Quechre Bebre. The early 1990s will look a little blur for some people. Let's come from May 98 today. So 98 the stars as at that particular time they were getting almost from the Barcelona. Ubekasaba Zinedine Zidane. Ronaldo de Lima. As at that time there was Rivaldo. There was Cafu. There was Roberto Carlos. We can go on and mention these players who were coming up as at that time. Definitely, we had an El Clasico that had Zinedine Zidane. We had an El Clasico that had players like Ronaldo de Lima, Rivaldo at some point in time. Then fast forward, you come in and around the early 2000s, come to 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. You had the likes of Fabio Cannavaro playing as a captain for the Italian national team, winning the Ballon d'Or, playing the El Clasico. Fast forward, you look at top quality players like Deco, playing the El Clasico. Then the almighty Ronaldinho playing the El Clasico. This is one competition you love to see it because top players will love to play in it. Fast forward in the 2010s. We even had the likes of Thierry Henry moving from Arsenal to Barcelona to play it in 2013, 2014. Look at the kind of quality we saw in the El Clasicos. You've had top players also coming in like Cristiano Ronaldo. Playing the El Clasico as at that time.
Ricardo dos Santos.
Kaka. Then a certain Lionel Messi, a certain Andres Iniesta, a certain Xavi Hernandez, there's someone Eto'o African player Jinamubi. So it has given us every taste when it comes to quality of players. The 80s will talk about the likes of Maradona, Mobile, you know. And the 90s, but this is the fixture you don't want to miss this particular weekend. Top game, good quality, and the BMI staff from. Maybe during those days we can have an argument, say no more quality players. But the El Clasico, Emma, when it comes to stars, definitely it always creates one at a point in time. Even when Barcelona is at its lowest point, even when Madrid is at its lowest point, there is definitely a star you can talk about when it comes to the El Clasico. It is time Cristiano Ronaldo Real Madrid from even time before Jose Mourinho. Real Madrid from there was still talk of the likes of Guti and Co. And Cannavaro and Co. who were playing for Real Madrid and my Clasico Nicosro. Yabaka said Barcelona about from Tata Martino but there was still an Messi. There was still Andres Iniesta at some point in time. When we even felt there is nothing to talk about the El Clasico under Xavi Hernandez, there was a certain Lamine Yamal. Wapedaba, there's a certain Pedri, there's a certain Gavi. When you think about Real Madrid going down, there's somebody that comes up in the shape of Vinicius Jr. So there's always a rivalry when it even comes to individual players with the El Clasico. As it stands. And then you bet me about rivalries by 4 between these two sides coming into this particular game. We can make a case for Bellingham and Pedri, the rivalry. We can make a case for beating Kylian Mbappe and Lamine Yamal in this particular case. We can also raise another case for somebody like Vinicius Jr. in this particular Real Madrid setup against the likes of Marcus Rashford. We can raise Rafinha. Rafinha is the best person. So Vinicius, Rafinha. We can raise Lewandowski to Real Madrid again. Talk about the likes of Rodrigo and Co. That they could literally match him good for good. Mike, when the game will be a person, now for the Asare cry a Paukubas in the Heisen. So definitely there is something to create about this competition. There's something to love about this game. There's something to cherish about the Clasico. Mike, weekend way there. Hi. Kasebo.
Ball.
Kasebo.
Ball.
Well, the game is on Sunday, 15 minutes after 3 p.m. GMT. And interestingly, if you go to the Premier League, they've scheduled their games to start 2 p.m. and then later at 4:30 p.m.
Hey!
They're giving way for the Clasico.
Exactly.
But that's one thing that's one thing I like about the English Premier League. Those that arrange the fixtures understand that there are certain games that you don't have to stress with. If it's the Clasico, allow them to have their moment and let them play their football. And even, have you looked at how even the Italian Serie A is also arranged? Italian Serie A plays their games very early. 10 a.m., 11 a.m., then quickly or late in the night.
I think the big game on Sunday in the league in Italy is Lazio Juventus.
You understand?
And that is at 7:45.
You understand? So that you know that one. And now, everybody watch all the leagues late in the night. Everybody's going to the Italian Serie A. So I think that is smart from them. Hey, El Clasico.
Your first take.
First take, eh? So I watched the Luis Figo documentary. I think that was the time I really understood the magnitude of the rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Because if you listen to the Deco's agent who brokered the deal, there was a certain Florentino Perez who was a young businessman, had ambition to become Real Madrid president. There were big Madrid names at the time. Vicente Calderon and the likes that come and do whatever they want to do at Madrid. El Presidente wanted to be the guy. Known businessman, accountant, done politics at some point in time. He came in. Then he was struggling. In fact, they said that months before the polls, Florentino Perez was not close to anything about winning the Madrid presidency. He was not close. He was not even part of the conversation. In fact, the incumbent was in line to win. Then his assistant, one day in his office, Florentino Perez is there. He is smoking. He is there in the night. The assistant goes and says that, what is the plan? And apparently, Florentino Perez is known for doing bizarre things. Like he does, the decisions that he takes are very bizarre. And maybe there are people that know him say that that's why he succeeded in business and commerce, because you have to take risks in business. And a lot of the people will rather shy away from taking the risks rather than taking those risks. So Tino says, okay, let me go and take the risk. Let me go and take the risk in this one. What can we do? One day, he calls former Atletico de Madrid player who is Portuguese and then tells him that I need a Portuguese player that has come. And remember the story of Luis Figo. He had come to Barcelona. Yeah. He was a star boy.
Senior Mayo.
He was playing football those days, and people don't know this part of the Luis Figo story. Figo traveled from Portugal before he signed for Barcelona. He traveled to Italy. He nearly signed for Parma also.
Yeah. As at those days.
Yes. Parma was the biggest club, one of the biggest clubs. Yeah. He nearly signed for Parma at that time. When there, something happened. Luis Figo did not sign for Parma again. The next moment, he's flying to Barcelona to go and sign for Barcelona. Hey. So he already had a scandal. Florentino Perez believes that there can be more scandals with this guy. Let us go and uproot him. Talks to whoever he has to talk to. And Okache say, who brokered the deal for Luis Figo to come to Madrid? He will give that agent 6,000 euros at a time. 6,000 euros at a time. An agent say, Masanani, okay, that's not possible. Friends, Luis Figo Barcelona, how long has it been? That you want me to go and convince him to come to the arch rivals of Barcelona? And that time, it was in the heat of the Catalonia issues where they felt like everything Madrid were imposing them. So they also wanted those independence and yes, all of those things. They felt like Barcelona, the only thing no success against Real Madrid for was that football. He moved on through the season. Luis Figo has gone on holiday. He had given birth to his daughter in Spain. He was in Greece for his holiday. Then Florentino Perez went to tell a Madrid pro journalist that he had best signing Luis Figo. Inti wakachre and say, "Oh, holiday waha, go there." First move of the agent was to go there and go and talk to Luis Figo. Apparently, he knew Luis Figo's wife. Only Luis Figo's wife was saying, now about that man. How do you expect us to convince Luis Figo to move there? What did the trick for Florentino Perez was that around that time they had already broke the news in the news into the media. So the media and the Barcelona fans were getting a little bit agitated, started calling Luis Figo a rat. It's Luis Figo to where so a rat, missing sign, and go for the bar, missing sign, but media name yes my sign. Then you remember former Barcelona president, I've forgotten his name at the time. He was also
Carlos Rehac.
Yeah, their election was also getting close.
Yeah.
And in that election, they asked him about Luis Figo and said he whatever that he wants to do, if Luis Figo wants to stay, he can stay. They pushed Luis Figo to the extent that Florentino Perez asked that Luis Figo just call the Barcelona president and ask him if he wants to keep you.
Yeah.
Ask him, does he want to do everything to keep you?
One Gaspar
at the time told him that, if you want to play for Barca, you have to play for Barca. Barca doesn't beg people to play for them. Luis Figo says that was when and you see, if you watch that documentary on Netflix here, Mike, everybody says a different story. The agent says a different story. Luis Figo says a different story. Florentino Perez says a different story.
At the point, Figo was like, the agent was lying.
Yes.
He didn't really tell the truth.
Yes.
And then the agent was like, no, Figo actually
asked
empowered
him
them
to go ahead. Because Luis Figo said,
who felt the most pain was Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, Pep. He was the close friend of Luis Figo. They were their roommate. Pep Guardiola said he only heard that Luis Figo is going. He can't do anything to Luis Figo. He has to go. And you could tell that Pep was very honest with it. Was straightforward. Yeah. See,
Pep is a big boy too.
On that night where Luis Figo was leaving Barcelona, when he went to his car park, people had thronged the car park, telling him off. That you a rat. You are going to Real Madrid. His first game when he came back to play Madrid at the Bernabeu, they lost. And they made him know that he's a rat. So the Madrid-Barcelona rivalry is huge. And there are a lot of things that have happened historically that's even made it even better. Since it started. And it looks as if almost every time, Michael, there's always a twist to that story. Okay. There was a time where a certain Cristiano Ronaldo Aveiro dos Santos is on the other side of the Iberian Peninsula in Portugal. He has gone to England to literally dominate the place. At Manchester United, was an English boy, but he found a way to be the main guy, winning the Ballon d'Or, moving on to Real Madrid, breaking the record in terms of number of people that have come to see an unveiling of a player. Comes in there. When he was there, it coincided with when a South American genius was coming up in Barcelona, literally taking the league by storm. Now, the subplot was that let them fight each other. Just when we thought that we had seen it all, there were major subplots. Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho on the touchline. Yeah. Jose Mourinho, who Tito Villanova at some point in time. A whole lot of subplots. We went. Even seasons where we didn't have it, it got to a point where we had a subplot of just Vinicius Jr. Now it has become Lamine Yamal, Ibanez, Nazraoui, and then of course Kylian Luton and Mbappe. Yeah. So the stories make it exciting. Even before the ball is kicked, there is always a story around this one. This one is about Madrid probably seeking revenge from last season. Because last season was a total drab. And they had to find a way to get themselves back into it. Whilst
Barcelona in 4 consecutive.
Yeah, they were beating them back to back to back. Whilst, if you remember last season, Lamine Yamal said something that wherever they meet Madrid, they will beat them because they are better than them. Imagine if the story turns. Those are my initial words.
Kiki.
Okay. See, my brother has done a lot of good jobs when it comes to this kind of pre-assessment when it comes to Barcelona games. Or Barcelona, Real Madrid games. El Clasico. Let me give a little history too. Barcelona, you turned on 1899. You turned 3 years later, and you turned Real Madrid, which was 1902. Okay. After that time, when no more bubble friendlies we near there, because as at that time, you didn't La Liga. So La Liga was later formed in 1929. But now at that time, games are no more born. Near friend of Copa de España. It's near friendlies. Until after 1929, and you started to say, yeah, bought El Clasico.
Okay.
Now, omo yet tetefo no. Yeah, no tetefo no. Yeah, the kai 1974. Johan Cruyff. See, El Clasico has produced a lot of goals. 5-0, 6-1, any other. The D can't buy a no 1974 when Johan Cruyff was the captain of Barcelona, thrashing Real Madrid by 5-0. And number for the Dombekai 1994. Johan Cruyff. I know they know your coach. I would do anymore. No, so much say Real Madrid 5-0. But Millennium and Ebia Gen Z for the day.
Anyway, you know.
Ombekai. Exactly. So, El Clasico there, they be a one be a deba. We are no crafty these kind of games. Now Akomea Kasimbi. Or say, these games, and I say these games can make you or break you. And I say these games validate you, and I say invalidate you. And to see it, Bobo or Hong Kong decided say a better one. So with this kind of games now, I ensure some transfers be a day yaudie about 2 clubs, maybe Mr. Luis Figo, Ben Schuster more, Michael Landrop more. Yeah. Any other. So this El Clasico there, I think you might be aba and easy. So if you know games or my boy, Real Madrid are winning 105. And a Barca are winning 103. It means that they say Madrid chain. Barcelona 2 pay. And they say Barca for a motivator say, I was here to see you. Now say no Jaya de Biana El Clasico. Any yetime 2 maka 2 pay. Now over goals are Abamoa. Goals 437 for Real Madrid, 431 for Barcelona. So meaning that I can see his goals pay. Then no matter Real Madrid. They move 52 there, I draw. My purchase say games have a lot of memories, a lot of goals, a lot of nyoma bia. Yeni na football ye hwe dia ni jieba. El Clasico edda Barcelona and Real Madrid so. As I know obi bobo baby na a big gamer. Obi to make say hey why no ebon almost El Clasico no ana near the so almost El Clasico no ana adentia because they say dino ababa be din trahama because of say nyoma esi wom ene nyoma edeba me ehwe okay then nan say rivalry hu cry Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo which was epic around time and Pep Guardiola of Barcelona na Mourinho ewo Real Madrid so like El Clasico die se ye kase ye ka ho nsem a enye na ne bewi Akomea ye bi menu afia ye bi de me de be so ayi we ya say El Clasico dey a lot of memories a lot of yaw a lot of enije and a lot of goals a lot of wins a lot of sorrows near the other but I'm hoping to see this El Clasico at Airbus on Sunday.
What kind of a game are we to expect? If you judge by how the season has unraveled for the both sides, Madrid are top of the La Liga table with a 2-point lead over Barcelona. Barcelona have not really been the Barca we saw last season. Madrid still a work in progress under Xavi Alonso. So, what type of a game are we to expect on Sunday?
I think Madrid will believe that there is a huge opportunity for them. Okay. Opportunity in the sense that this is a Barcelona side that's struggled in the last few weeks in terms of even fitness, and they are not playing that football. Okay. No matter how you look at it, Barcelona are not playing the kind of football that they have to play. Mm-hmm. They have the absence of key members of the squad like Rafinha, for one, who for me is the tormentor in chief and then the tone setter in terms of everything that Madrid, Barcelona does. Mm-hmm. He is the one that leads the intensity, that adds the energetic stuff to the Barcelona play, and then forces them in that P&P, the pace and power. That's always. So you see, when people like Berner criticize Hansi Flick on what he does, it's because they say, okay, you know what, change. Last season it was this season it's not going to change. But Dieter Flick doesn't change. It's essentially German football married with Spanish tiki-taka. Mm-hmm. Let us be intense. What Jurgen Klopp we used to call the Jurgen Pressen, heavy metal football. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. Win the ball back, let's play. And the most athletic person in that Barcelona front line, the whole thing hinges on the front line. The most athletic person is Rafinha. And Rafinha is the one that makes that tick. His absence has been telling to Barcelona in the sense that, yes, they don't get the person that chases the ball, that wins the ball back quicker for them, that takes the possession over. So the game is going to be one where Barca may go into the game actually cautious. Mm-hmm. I think Hansi Flick will go into the game and try to be cautious to limit them. That is why already you are hearing stories around that there may be the possibility of Ronald Araujo starting. Okay. Because if it's about Barca coming to play the football on the front foot and dominating football, then it's not Ronald Araujo football. Mm-hmm. It's Andres Christensen, but the last time we heard he was injured. He had stomach upset or whatever. I don't know if it's back. If it's not him, we've realized that Hansi Flick is a bigger fan of Eric Garcia and Pau Kubasi because they can play the football. But there is a big deficiency to their football. What is it? It's the lack of height in that centre-back pair. And the fact that if you play Kubasi and Eric Garcia, it means that you want Kubasi to be the leader of the back line. Okay. Yes, he's a good centre-back. He's a good player on the ball. Mm-hmm. He's an aggressive centre-back. But the organizational ability of Pau Kubasi may not be there. So it's a big worry for Hansi Flick in that centre-back choice. Again, in that centre-back, when you play Pau Kubasi on with Eric Garcia, it means that you are pushing Pau Kubasi to the left-hand side. Yeah. For him to be the LCB, the absence of Inigo Martinez is a big thing for them. See, when Barca were good in terms of catching teams in the high line, the offside trap, it was that telepathic relationship between Kubasi and Inigo. Mm-hmm. If Inigo is the last man, Kubasi knows when to stand. If Kubasi is the last man, Inigo knows where to stand. But that also started from the press and the compression of the pitch from Rafinha. Okay. So if Rafinha pushes to press like a trigger, everybody, the centre backs also push up.
So it's like the coordinates.
It's,
so
yeah.
Rafinha starts
and then
the
whole thing. It's like a cascading effect of a sort. Okay. But now you don't have that. So they are going to go into this game being careful. Again, you don't have Rafinha. You also don't have the ability to really comfortable player from the back. You don't have one centre back that's your most comfortable left-sided centre back. I've said this several times. Barca's lack of an LCB, if it was in English Premier League, they would have sweated. Because a lot of teams would have set up just to force Kubasi to his right every time. It will delay your build-up. It will delay your shape in angles of progressing the ball. They will be able to force and win possession off you. But in the Spanish La Liga, it looks as if teams are not that specific to that. They allow Kubasi to play the football. So I think that's something that Madrid will get something off from. The height also is a big deal for me. When you look at the side of Real Madrid, I think they will smell blood. Okay. Let us beat them, widen the gap, and really put space between us and them. I think it is going, if Madrid managed to get the win, it is going to give them that mental advantage that they are going to win the Spanish La Liga this season. Okay. Because you already have the advantage. And if you beat them, you push it up. Again, if Madrid are able to win on a night that becomes a total drab, it literally pushes Barcelona to the edge of a ditch and say that we have sent you to the slaughterhouse. If you allow yourself, you'll be slaughtered. Will your players come back from injury? Will Lewandowski be able to come back? Will Rafinha be good enough in the first few months after that? Mind you, they are critical games for Barcelona right after the Grand Clasico. Mm-hmm. And they need to be very, very careful in that regard. But finally, I think it also presents an amazing opportunity for players like Marcus Rashford, who is going to play his first Clasico. He has seen Jude Bellingham light up as an Englishman in the Clasico. Jude's first Clasico, he scored that goal that won Madrid that game. Yeah. So Marcus is on top form. Yes, Rafinha is out of the team. Yes, Lewandowski is not there. But he's had 11 goal involvement in just about 7 goal involvement in just 11 games that he have played for Barca this season. Yeah. He's instrumental for them in the absence of all of those players. He will also feel like this is a day for him. But at the Santiago Bernabeu, is Rashford a bigger character to own it? When there is Mbappe, when there is Vini, when Jude is back, I doubt.
All jokes aside, I think Marcus Rashford has always put himself in the name in the books whenever it comes to big games. Man United, Liverpool, Man United,
Man City,
EFL Cup final, Man United, Man City, PSG, Man United, PSG, Champions League, the Europa League.
The Classico is a different big game.
I know, but I'm only trying to state something like Marcus Rashford has always found a way to be part of the discussion when it comes to any big game. This is the biggest test for him to see if he can actually be in the mix. Yeah. He's one player who loves the pressure, who loves to give it all out, who loves to push at different levels to get the results that he needs. Now he's grown in confidence in this particular Barcelona setup. He's one particular person I'm looking forward to in this Clasico. I don't know if Alexander Trent-Arnold is going to start this game. I think Alonso will have to do a lot to make sure that he protects Alexander Trent-Arnold, because that is definitely an old rivalry battle that is going to reignite between the two of them. I've seen it before. I've seen how it works and I've seen how things are done, which if you are not careful, some of these things are going to go against you. For example, just look at yesterday's chance. Militao Vlahovic put Marcus Rashford in that position, and I'm telling you that is a goal.
Yeah.
Will Real Madrid risk it? Coming all out against Barcelona. Aside the key battles we are going to witness in the game, the matter of approach will be very important in this particular discussion we are making. Yeah. For Barcelona, they wouldn't know what to expect from this Real Madrid team because Xabi Alonso is not consistent with the starting lineup and system. But for Real Madrid, they'll be able to assume and guess that this is how Barcelona is going to set up, because there's nothing new under the sun when it comes to Barcelona.
Only if the injuries players or those who are on injury.
Dr. Kiki, met me akata many say sorry. I can say me help Barcelona team we are. Some of my Pranakram Maya, Kubasi Rigasia will start this game. Obobo Kunde, Obobo Bardi, Obobo Pedri ni Frankie de Jong, Obobo Femi Lopez 10, Ferran Torres about Obobo 9.
So Lewandowski be.
Obobo Yamal.
I don't think Lewandowski will be fit.
I don't think Lewandowski, but one more close up pen, almost my training near Rafinha and Ferran Torres. So even if Campus or Joe Rafinha no kakra, all my name starting game you can trust you me.
But if you don't take care, he will not even start Ferran Torres in this game.
So I'm starting now the rush for the Bona. That means Rafinha goes to the left.
But will he start Rafinha for this game?
But no matter who starts for this Barcelona team for Hansi Flick, you will know that there is one thing that is going to be attached to them: high line. How to beat the high line of FC Barcelona and capitalize on your chances. It has all been about moment. Will Real Madrid decide to sit back in a mid block, hit Barcelona on counter attack with their high line, or can they be able to hold themselves up technically, keep the ball well against Barcelona's high press? This is why it's important to understand that players like Den Huysen coming into the Real Madrid setup will really help them in terms of long range passes from the defense to attack. How he is able to keep the ball in tight positions, and it's very, very influential whenever trying to play passes into the phase 3. And these are players you love to have in your team. So for Barcelona, I think Hansi Flick will be having a hell of a thinking to do, because at Real Madrid, you don't know if they are going to go with a 3-back or they are going to go with a 4-back, depending on who they have. You don't even know if Vinicius is going to start this game. But previously, if you are planning for Real Madrid, you plan against Vinicius. You plan against Kylian Mbappe. You plan against Rodrigo. But for Saturday, you don't know if you are going to plan against Franco Mastantuano. You don't know if you are going to plan against... For Kylian Mbappe, yes, you can plan against him. For Eder Militao, yes, you can plan against him. For Thibaut Courtois, yes. Alvaro Carreras, yes. But for right back, who partners Militao? Either it's going to be Tchouaméni or Camavinga. You wouldn't even know. Valverde moves into the... You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know. This is the card for Real Madrid to play on and get a result against Barcelona before the key battles comes into this particular discussion.
But do you think whether it's Valverde, Tchouaméni, whoever starts Camavinga in midfield, you think with the Barcelona pair of Pedri and Frenkie de Jong, they care? Whoever starts.
I'll agree with you on that fact that these two players are not going to care about anybody because they are that good.
Doesn't really count.
Femi Lopez offers them a certain level of physicality in that particular midfield. Ono de bia meka say Spain ba o yitin wo Italian na bibi because her lifestyle na. It doesn't really look like a Spanish. But technically he looks like a Spanish. But he's aggressive, he can shoot, he can do a lot of things. I'll agree with you on that. Say no matter who starts in the middle of the pack, I don't think Barcelona will care. But where they are really going to care about is who Real Madrid brings in terms of attack. Because of how they've conceded a lot of goals. The last time Barcelona kept a clean sheet was back in September. I think 28th or something of that. So that is when they kept a clean sheet. They concede almost every time. So how do we concede? Then their attack against Real Madrid's defense. As in who starts, who comes in. But this is where the individual battles will come into discussion. Lamine Yamal and Alvaro Carreras. Very important battle. Paris Saint-Germain against Barcelona, the template was there. We saw how the first 5 minutes went on between Nuno Mendes and Lamine Yamal, Mike. And you would understand, say Barcelona, the creative chances, baby, the first 5 minutes. But when Nuno Mendes came into the game, everything literally went off for Barcelona. Who wins that battle? Number 2, you come to the middle of the pack, as you said. Can Real Madrid's midfield stop a player like Pedri and Frenkie de Jong with Femi Lopez creating or even dominating the game? This is where another battle will come from. Another battle will be Kylian Mbappe against Eric Garcia or Pau Kubasi. Then the Barcelona's attack, I wouldn't say against the defense of Real Madrid by Fiifi, against Thibaut Courtois. On the day. Because Thibaut Courtois, Mike, go now all down. Go now, Juane down. So it's interesting to realize all the battles, all the tactical approaches. But as a stance, and so I say, Minwe kakrebia. Remember Real Madrid bear 55%. Remember Barcelona bear 45%.
So you think Madrid are slightly favourite?
Slightly favourite.
What role would the two coaches play? Kiki, guys, it's open. What role would the two coaches play? It's Alonso's first El Clasico. For Hansi Flick, it is the fifth that he has to play against a team he's beaten 4 times last season. Will the coaches have a role to play in this? Yeah, we all know they are going to do the selection, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about the tactics and how it impacts on the players. Because Akomea's discussion centered on this player versus this player, Thibaut Courtois, and what he does. And this is a big game. And during the big games, the big players turn up. But I want to understand to what extent do the coaches have an impact on how well their team play or otherwise?
Yeah. I believe, sir, of course, the coaches no able effect or game no so per year. Because in as much as say Obia were extremely talented players, at the end of the day, Obia ni fear. So it will depend on one or two experience from the leaders, which is the managers we are talking about.
Yeah.
Over Hansi Flick or a lot of experience beyond even El Clasico. Or an experience or different by we need to cry badada.
Yeah.
So what I say, Eti say or big game we are onsro the kind. A coach like Ancelotti or Chene Yegu Nemo left, right, center. And so now Zabi Alonso over. Zabi Alonso, you are coming from even Bayern Leverkusen. Won't shut down coach any big team. And the day I make us say Zabi Alonso, if it's Zabi Alonso by Real Madrid, big matches biano or me who so every big match bia what be a big match Champions League match PSG or yeshan me who yashan o lusu ye me who so wanya de Debi make us say when Real Madrid meets these mid-table teams, it is so mentioned because of the individual brilliance of these players.
Yeah.
But to meet the big dons now, then that is the problem. And true, Zabi Alonso, one thing I remember the fact that say no team bought 3 back, team bought 4 back. Until when it comes to tactics, no, or a lot of formulas are on the table. But when you look at Hansi Flick, you're too rigid. Why is a Ruben Amorim? No? High line, we are say high line. Wow, high line, I'm always so biacho.
So whom sawem?
High line, high line. So, remember the NSA. Right now, there's an experienced Hansi Flick. You're stubborn and that's what thing when it comes to the tactics. And the young guy, for the past 2-3 seasons, football, you know, say right now, the new-ish. What's the new experience? No maybe a dear dancer when the matches must say man or big matches are or team pulley. But here's the case on also so very flexible. So right now it's still bow down to over 2 personalities now man. A coach or high experience I was Madrid for some time.
Yeah.
But on in the tactics about the high line. But I also a young guy or no so for so them prove. Yes, but on a lot of tactics. So right now the difference is the materials you have.
Fee, last season everybody was talking about beating Barca's offside trap. And Madrid tried 4 times. They achieved fairly some little amount of success. I must put it that way. Then again, there was the issue of how Madrid were pressing, how Madrid conducted themselves without the ball. Have you seen changes in these 2 instances? One for Barca and their high line, and how teams are perhaps struggling or otherwise to break it. And then for Real Madrid, they are pressing. And then how effective it has been as compared to last season. Can you speak to this?
I think in all of the 38 La Liga games that Barcelona played last season, the easiest was the ones they played against Madrid. And it's because Carlo Ancelotti had supervised the team that was good, with a lot of stars, but they just were not willing to work as hard as they had to work. They didn't work hard enough. And that's exactly what happened over there. That game that Carlo Ancelotti was manager.
When your cameraman is an investor.
And you man is so crazy.
Why not your penalty about saying? I say that. I thought over 1.5.
The cameraman let you camera like
I have over 5 Don't try camera and the buofu. Continue.
I'm even looking for Strasbourg for him.
It's 1-1.
Strasbourg.
Yeah, 1-1.
Hey, Bernard.
I don't Manchester don't now over 1.5. I say we are about how many minutes?
They are losing 2-1.
I say we are.
Yeah.
And they had a penalty.
And they missed it.
Who can say we are win? Bubble time.
Penalty missed.
And no, motivate to say no. You absolutely no miss penalty.
The penalty missed.
No man soon tini. It's mujai bets na den.
Bella, Babeka high if I tell your viewers. Bra.
With the brand
bra.
His name is Bernard.
Your cameraman back up.
Oh, dear, kakane.
It's been translated.
Oh,
So be back to the question.
Oh, so boy, you went to job, mama. Why? 50. We have a 5 minutes through. So it's essentially a team at the time that Carlo Ancelotti was building, but they were not working hard. Everybody knew this. It was literally on the wall.
Yeah.
And they had to make a lot of changes to be able to work hard, and it gets them to get to the place where they want to get to. And that was a big issue for them. That is what Xabi Alonso has changed. I think that in all of the big games that Kiki talks about, it was against Bayern for Leverkusen. Leverkusen played against Atalanta in that final in
Champions
Europe.
League final.
No, Atalanta in the Europa League final.
No cry, no.
Yeah. But then they played a league, which was a big league in the German Bundesliga. It was no meaner coach than Thomas Tuchel, who was the coach of Bayern Munich at the time. Yeah. And he showed him how the job is done. He managed to get a job done over there. So I'm not worried about the quote-unquote big games that Xabi Alonso flows. I think that he has built a much more balanced Madrid team than they were last season. And it's a team that goes into... I mean, imagine if this was the same Madrid team that we saw under Carlo Ancelotti that was coming. We would have said that Madrid will Barca whitewash them.
Yeah.
But there is some level of the fact that, okay, Madrid can go in and get a win if they play well. And I think that there's been a lot of changes in them. For Football Club Barcelona, nothing really has changed. In fact, Hansi Flick himself has said that nothing has changed. He wouldn't change anything. What he wants to do is to make sure that at the end of the day, his players play to that level. That is what's lacking with Hansi Flick. He has had injuries. He has had players who have not been able to play to that level. And that's what has affected him. If Madrid can work as hard as they've worked in other games, if you can find a way to get Franco Mastantuono, Federico Valverde to work for the team, and then that means that you get an extra creative output in other goalie, who said that in the last reign of Carlo Ancelotti didn't get enough playing time, but this time has been the creator-in-chief of Football Club Real Madrid, then you have a chance. If you can get Vinicius Jr., who this season doesn't focus on the issues of the fans, but focuses on what he can do on the field of play, then Madrid has a huge chance.
Well, I think we'll be wrapping up on the El Clasico. There are other games that we have to talk about. So what I'm going to do is that give me like one word. What kind of a game are we to expect? One. I'll take tens. One word.
One word.
Yeah.
Incredible.
V.
Feisty.
Kiki.
Bubruja.
What word is that?
I don't know. Ubobia, you know, Ubia
If you want to party,
right.
hey.
So I will want to test your prediction prowess. Who is winning?
Akomea,
or will there even be a winner? Who is winning?
Who is winning?
Yeah, who is taking
right
this
now? Right now,
I think Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Yes.
You want to go for Madrid?
Yeah, I want to go.
Would you be bold enough to go with a score line? A score prediction?
1 goal difference.
1 goal difference. Yeah. Fee, who's winning?
Madrid 2-1 win.
Madrid
2-1 win.
Kiki.
Let me demo if.
No, I don't like if.
See.
I don't like if clauses.
They tell me if clauses.
Don't sit on the fence and no.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. But remember the players available.
Okay.
But say me yes, sure.
Okay.
Say if Rafinha, Ferran Torres.
Okay, that's permitted. Yeah.
And Fermin Lopez.
Fermin Lopez is back. Lewandowski, the chance of him playing is very unlikely. So Rafinha, there is a probability he will be part of the squad. The chance of him starting is slim, but he can play a role.
Okay. If Sanko Fone is back, Barcelona will win.
All right.
A slim win. But if Sanko Fone I'm back, I'm Bobby, at least some number of minutes making sense, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Now 5 minutes near there. Trust me. Real Madrid is winning that game.
But I'm pretty sure they work far away.
Because from Titina, me say El Clasico share. Person no injuries behind mine. Me can say Barcelona will score.
Let me frame another one. If Barcelona will win, who will decide it? If Real Madrid will win, who will decide it?
Man of the match, Anna.
There be
Like,
one
who
to be
will
decided.
decide it? Eventually, if
For
he does
Barcelona,
it,
Barcelona, okay, nipa me, you know. Pedri and Lamine Yamal.
then Madrid.
Mbappe and Courtois.
Kiki. If Barca will win, who decides it? If Madrid will win, who decides?
Madrid will win. Other goalie Thibaut Courtois will stand out.
Then Barcelona.
Barcelona, they won't win, but then Pedri Gonzalez.
They won't win, say.
I don't think they'll win, as I've said.
What do you mean there be T?
No, I said if Barca will win, who will
If
decide
Barca
it?
will win.
And I say they won't win.
If Barca will win.
They said they
now
will
I'm
win, so
saying-
don't decide anything.
Don't
So
decide
don't
anything.
mention anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Let's go, Akomea.
For Real Madrid, I think Thibaut Courtois,
no.
Kylian Mbappe.
Courtois,
Let's
Mbappe.
match one.
Yes.
The way you come and
For
do
if Barcelona will win,
Cameras
I think Marcus Rashford.
Marcus Rashford.
Marcus Rashford and Pedri.
Go for another channel.
United.
So the guys have spoken today. I decided to just sit on the fence and watch them do what they do best. So we just wish everybody the best of luck. If you belong to the blue and red, if you belong to the white, we've kept quiet. The predictions have come from the guys. But it is not the only game that will be played across Europe. There are interesting games across sport. We'll jump from Spain and come to England.
Okay.
Manchester United won
boogie side.
back-to-back Premier League games. Up next is Brighton.
Oh, they'll score Brighton 4-0.
Since
They're a better team. Amorim is the best coach in the world. That's 10 the tide.
No, I want them to go.
Champion coach.
Fanfully.
But
Champion
you won
coach.
back-to-back games.
Right.
Momentum is in
It
your...
doesn't matter. Since 2022, Yensha Brighton, Old Trafford that.
And then when you say now, when you say after that's
I say Brighton
but
team.
since 10 years ago, now we team question Liverpool.
But you've done it.
But you went to do it. This is a bull break.
Yeah, Brighton won.
And I will so my mistake.
But Ben, how to my brother? Yeah, I hope. I don't say so much. What do you say?
So, guys, let me take your predictions on these games. But Manchester United and then...
Brighton.
Yeah.
Obekwa kono home or away. That games na in a draw that.
Okay.
Head there, one person will win. Home or away and over 1.5.
Home or away on over 1.5.
Yes.
Then there's Chelsea Sunderland.
So we have been so called Chelsea. Chelsea boss Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Lebre is doing a good job.
Jaisa.
Behind Brie.
Chelsea to win and over 1.5.
Behind Brie.
Chelsea to win and over 1.5.
Chelsea win
And over
and
1.5.
over 1.5. All right. Then Arsenal have a game against Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace.
Hey, when they go home?
Arsenal.
Oh, Arsenal will win. A slim win there.
1-0 be like
Yeah,
that.
2-1 be.
Then Aston Villa Man City.
Both teams to score match.
When they
Wow.
when they go home?
Aston Villa. But they have European exertions. They are currently playing against Go Ahead Eagles. And in fact, the Go Ahead Eagles have gone ahead against Aston Villa.
I'm like City team won. This season omo ya DB.
Fee.
Fee. Omo mo ball. No.
Challenge our play.
Omo mo ball fe hu to say they now hu no. But they've always found a way
To win.
to win.
Yeah.
Okay. And it looks like the clean sheets are coming.
What you say?
Man, trust Man City away games.
So these are their last matches. In their last 3 matches, they've kept clean sheets and then they've won. 1-0 against Brentford, 2-0 against Everton, 2-0 against Villarreal. So defensively, it looks like there is an improvement. So you think they will stop Aston Villa, who are also on their own renaissance? Maybe today's game will be the blip. But in the last 5 matches, they've won. They beat Bologna, they beat Fulham, they beat Feyenoord, they beat Burnley, they beat Spurs. And so if they had drawn this game or won, it would have continued that streak.
There's always that one AI robot who is always at Man City who cause trouble.
So
But me, Man City away games.
You don't.
No, right? This season on my away games now, I hear on and off. So probably you want to go for goals. Okay. And this season I've been conceding a lot of goals. So both teams to score there's a mass at least 1.53 be there and a 1.49 be there.
Will Liverpool's revival wagon suffer a break?
I'm about against wine.
They play against Brentford.
Long balls.
Brentford.
Yeah.
Fee.
When they go home.
I was not to be saying
I think
soon.
it's Brentford who play at home.
Corner kick ni throw.
So
I go to the one. Yeah, 2 throw na.
So on Saturday, 7 p.m., Brentford against Liverpool.
I don't think that game also ends in a draw. A double chance. Liverpool or Brentford. And over 1.5.
So you think their revival will suffer another?
Like
It
the long
depends.
balls and throw-ins. I think
It
Liverpool will
depends.
struggle again.
All right, then let's move to Italy. I think in Italy, there are interesting games to happen. Precisely, Napoli versus Inter. Will Conte bounce back? Back-to-back defeat. One against Torino, the other against
Napoli
PSG
playing at
and
home
Juve.
at Inter.
Yeah, Napoli at home against Inter Milan. Inter are also on a very good run of form. They've been winning games for fun before the international break and then after the international break. And they've won against Slavia Prague. They beat Cremonese. They beat Roma. And then they beat Royal USG. In fact, since their defeat to Juventus in the league, they've won all their matches played. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-match winning streak. Napoli back-to-back losses.
Wow, tough game for Napoli. I think Inter Milan to win it a half in this game.
Inter to win it half.
Yeah.
Fee.
And can be my continent.
Napoli will win. Napoli will
Napoli
bounce
win.
back. Yeah.
Napoli.
Napoli at home.
Yeah, Napoli at home.
They bounce back at the Maradona.
Napoli are winning that game.
Against Inter.
It's a home. I mean, win or draw
Oh yeah, I'll come back
For
to
Napoli.
for
Monday. I'll come
for
back.
no for Inter.
Monday I'll
For
come
Inter
back.
Milan.
And,
Yeah, but both teams to score. Yes.
Monday I'll come back and tell me the different story again.
All right.
Obepa match,
I
Oh
think
boy,
Sunday.
boy,
It
see
was a
ya.
game where
The
I
BR
see-
story say ya.
Boni scoring or assisting. Juan Ange Boni. I see him scoring or assisting. In the Champions League, he came on to assist for Pio Esposito.
Yeah, he'll score. He'll score. It's going to be 3-1.
So, okay, no problem. We just see what happens. And then there's Lazio Juventus as well.
I got 2 though.
Lazio will play Juventus. I think that will be all for the games that will be played across board. Some interesting games will also happen. But guys, we have to wrap up with our preview for this weekend. And in fact, our focus was on the El Clasico. We just wish either side the best of luck. Whoever wins will be here. And then we'll be back to discuss it on Monday. But on the street and across social media, we'll do our banter as usual. So if you see it, you can ignore or you can partake. A show swa. Why? All right. So bye-bye from us. It's a 4-post podcast. And we had our anthem singer in Michael Akomea. He was backed by Fiifi Manfred. And then our finest commentator for Spanish and Italian commentary.
Gracias.
Top notch.
Gracias. Gracias. Ma bene. Gracias.
Tutto moto.
Ma bene. Tutto molto. Ma bene. Cramnetos cantes.
On that note, bye-bye.